And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Box Office Shuffle. It's our fifth episode of this third season where we're watching There Will Be Blood from 2007, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I'm one of your hosts, Thomas, aka Mr. Warburg. Joining me as always is Joe, aka Joe. You completely cut out, so I'm hoping your recording picked that up
Oh,
because
yeah.
Discord completely noise gated you.
Yeah.
And joining us for rounding out our trio is Chris, aka Gamma Caruchador.
Yo, yo, yo.
So, Box Office Shuffle is a video podcast where the three of us bring our physical media collections, sit down, watch them as a group with our Discord, and maybe potentially, a bigger group if, as things grow with what we're doing. And then sit down either the night of or the night after and talk about the movie. So, this week, as I said, we were watching There Will Be Blood, which was from Joey's collection. And specifically, we watched his DVD rip on his Jellyfin server. And only a couple times had some video lag, which I don't know if that was Discord or if it was the server, but
I think it was Discord.
might have been Discord. Discord
I've never had-
sometimes slows up.
It was happening to me too. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask Joe if you had any lag on your end when you were watching.
It was only in
Oh,
like
right
the
in the
first
beginning.
15
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Which made me think like some kind of buffering was happening. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
we generally do watch those
it got
movies
smooth after that.
through Discord, and if we are ever able in person, but we don't all live in the same place, so
Yeah.
we gotta live with the reality of watching through the internet. So as I said, we were watching There Will Be Blood, which was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. This is actually the second Paul Thomas Anderson movie I've seen in the last 2 weeks. Of course, he's got a big one out now in One Battle After Another,
Okay.
which was starring Leonardo DiCaprio that me and Joey went to see, which I actually quite enjoyed that movie. I think I enjoyed it more than this one, but I still liked this movie, and we'll get into that later. Starring Daniel Day-Lewis as Daniel, starring Paul Dano as first Paul and then Eli. Was it Sunday? Yeah, his last name was Sunday.
Sunday.
Paul and Eli Sunday. So weird little coincidence where they both have their same first name as an interesting choice. One of the other, some of the other cast was Dylan. I think it's Frazier, and then Russell Harvard, excuse me, playing HW, and then the latter, Russell Harvard, actually is a deaf actor playing a deaf character. And then I think it's Kieran Hines. I think you say it is Kieran Hines. He plays Daniel Day-Lewis's character's like right-hand man for the first 2/3 of the movie. And he's an interesting like kind of character actor that pops up in a bunch of stuff I've seen. I'm trying to remember the last thing I actually saw him in. Kieran Hines.
He looks so familiar.
He's in a bunch of stuff. Like he does a lot.
Is he always like the side character in most movies? I feel like he is. I can't remember like a main movie.
God.
Wait a
He
minute.
was in
He
Tinker
voiced
Tailor Soldier
Steppenwolf?
Spy.
I did not know he voiced Mance Rayder, Game of Thrones. That's how I mostly know him from. But I did not know he voiced Steppenwolf in the Zack Snyder's Justice League. That didn't sound like him at all.
Good voice acting then.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. Yeah, it was Mance Rayder was what I first like most prominently know him from. But his limited run there on Game of Thrones. So this movie released on December 26, 2007. Had a prior Fantastic Fest earlier in that year, but the wide release was December 26, 2007. Had a budget of $25 million, box office of about 76.2. The home media sales, since we're a physical media podcast, what I could find was that on the DVD sales, it was reported that it made about 19 million in its first roughly 12 to 13 months of release. Obviously, there's no figures for Blu-ray, and it doesn't have a 4K release as of yet. On a personal note, I'll buy it when it comes to 4K. Because it sounds like Paul Thomas Anderson's like working slowly through doing 4K stuff of his projects. Because One Battle After Another was his 10th directorial movie. So, first, iteration. I've never seen this movie before. My first glance, first impression, I should say, that's the word I wanted to go with. I quite enjoyed it. Chris, this is also, I think, your first time seeing this movie. Without getting into why you did or didn't like it, I assume you didn't. When we said in the pre-show, not such a fan.
No. It was we'll go into it more later after we do all the the backs of the box art, whatever reading, but it just it's not my style of movie, and I think I'm understanding why this wasn't a style of movie for me. So we'll go into that in a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah, thumbs
Um,
down.
have you seen any other of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies?
I was just looking, and I don't think that I have. Yeah, I've never seen Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Boogie Nights
Uh,
I think is generally regarded as his like best film.
yeah, which that was
Mark
that
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, okay. Um,
I do
yeah.
think you'd like One Battle After Another. Yeah.
Uh, maybe. I really don't like Leonardo DiCaprio. Uh,
Okay. Well,
I the only movie that I enjoy Leonardo DiCaprio in is Inception. Every other movie I just don't enjoy
we'll
it.
say every character around him is like the characters in One Battle After Another are fantastic. Other than him, like Benicio del
Yeah,
Toro steals the show.
I love
He
Benicio del
100%
Toro.
does.
He's
The
great.
daughter character, she's awesome. It's only her second
Yeah.
movie. She's fantastic. So I
Hmm.
would say it's probably worth seeing in theaters.
Okay.
I don't know about owning it, but for you, but I'd say go experience it because it's very fun in a different kind of way. And
Okay.
Joe, this is a movie you own, so I'm assuming
Yes.
you really like it.
I like it a lot. Quite a bit. Yeah, I think I found it oh man, I think it was like at Goodwill or something like that. And I was like, "Oh my god, I could finally own this on DVD. Holy shit." And I immediately bought it, ripped it right away. And then my case currently is with my good friend right now, actually, to make him watch it. But
And
I still have
yeah,
access
for
to
the
the
audience
goddamn
that
case.
just saw Joey stretch, he is wearing a Baja Blast Snuggie.
Yes, I am. Best $20 ever spent,
So
let me tell you.
Joey, since it's your film, would you please give us
Mm,
the synopsis?
Yes. All right. So synopsis is there will be greed, there will be vengeance. Ruthless silver miner turned oil prospector Daniel Plainview moves to an oil-rich California, using his son to project trustworthy and family man image. Plainview cons local landowners into selling their land selling their valuable prop or selling landowner. Okay, start over. Plainview cons local landowners into selling him their valuable properties for a pittance. However, local preacher Eli Sunday suspects Plainview's motives and intentions, starting a slow burning feud that threatens both their lives.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so had you guys done any research into the backstory of the production of this movie?
No.
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of skits and stuff like that on this movie because I'm just obsessed with it.
So it was very loosely based on at least the initial kind of inspiration from two different perspectives of how this movie came to be, both from the writer's perspective and the director, was Upton Sinclair's Oil, which released in 1927. Now, if you guys remember your high school education and maybe college,
Yeah.
Upton Sinclair wrote The Jungle, which is widely regarded as one of the like you know biblical texts of anti-capitalism, because it largely took a very harsh lens to a lot of what was going on during the Industrial Revolution, and that was a lot of his writing style. It was very much sensationalizing the bad to really hone in on, yeah, this is some bad shit. We should not do this. We should, maybe do some better shit. And that book itself was written based on inspired by real events. It was called the Teapot Dome Scandal. I was an American history guy. Do you guys know what the Teapot Dome Scandal is?
I have a clue what that means.
Did it happen in Boston?
No, not even close.
Okay.
It was in California. So this is in the 1920s, and this is after the oil booms have started. I think it was President Harding said, "Hey, we need to make sure our Navy has oil." So he was like, "Hey, we're going to nationalize and we have to have oil." So they ended up through the Interior Secretary giving a whole bunch of contracts to two major companies. Then all of a sudden, this Interior Secretary, man, he's all of a sudden able to pay off a lot of his debt when he hadn't for 10 years. and he's all of a sudden living in a way nicer house and buying a way nicer car, and started a Senate investigation. And it was Albert Fall. He was the Interior Secretary. He is the first U.S. cabinet member to go to prison for accepting bribes in this case. Though conveniently, none of the people giving him money ever went to prison. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Weird.
Even 100 years ago, super fucking rich assholes got away with shit.
You know?
A whole lot of shit. And it was largely regarded as the greatest U.S. political, like, internal scandal about, like, politicians, corruption and all that, up until Watergate. And then everything that's happened since has put Watergate to fucking shame. So, things have escalated quickly on that front when it comes to corruption, you might say. Interesting to view this movie from 2007 about events in the 1900s through the lens of the last 9 months of this shit. I'll just say that without getting into too much of our political leanings.
We're just the 1900s with a little bit more technology right now. That's just kind of how this is going.
Pretty much. I mean, the AI barons are basically the oil barons of then.
Yeah.
Including completely fucking over our entire public infrastructure and, going to drive everybody's electricity costs up because they're all insane.
Yeah. Because they
For a product that doesn't even work. At least oil works. Has bad side effects, but at least it fucking works.
Yep.
It burns efficiently, for producing things and making things move. But whatever. And another person involved in the Teapot Dome scandal, Edward Donahue, he was one of the people alleged to have given bribes to Albert Fall and was not found guilty of, trying to bribe a public official. And he was largely based, like, that's who Daniel Day-Lewis kind of honed in of, like, this is who I'm going to, like, guys like him who I'm going to model my character after as an oil baron. Because obviously Daniel Day-Lewis pretty noted for going really hardcore into his character research and character acting and, staying in character at all times. I can never remember what the fuck the name of that method is. I know method acting is like the other thing, but there's like an actual like school that teaches it. But yeah, he's noted serious method actor. So that was where he focused a lot of his research on, as well as from, notes and things from laborers and like people that were involved, like the buying and selling of the land, a lot of that stuff. And I actually forgot to say who the writer was of this movie. I know Paul Thomas Anderson got the screenplay, but there was another guy involved. I'll have to come back to it. That mostly does it for my back-end notes in terms of the history there with Upton Sinclair and the Teapot Dome scandal. Do you guys have anything to add of like, hey, this was really cool in the movie? Because I have some other notes for that, but...
how like Daniel Day-Lewis, remember I spent like 6 months in the wilderness, like getting gruddy and like putting a lot of his... Yeah, like he just like, how he got ready for the role was, I thought was fucking crazy. Like at one point in time, like he got a sickness and didn't want like modern medicine for it. And I was like, damn, dude, it's fucking hardcore in this. That's all it's my 2 cents for that.
Was the fire at the oil rig real? Did they like do that for real, or was that special effects at the time?
I don't know.
Do we know?
We should look that up.
I don't know.
Because it looked great. Like,
I do know the method for how they put the fire out, real method, and up until like
I was doing dynamite.
I was doing some research on a Reddit thread of like a guy who was like an engineer for like drilling fluid and stuff. He's like, yeah, up until like the 90s, basically that was how we put out oil well fires.
Oh yeah,
all around the world, where you just use explosives and collapse the initial drill hole to so that way the pressure is released and it's not gonna fuck shit up anymore. Not quite backdrafting, but it's kind of like a similar concept where you're sucking all the oxygen out and collapsing the hole so that way it can no longer be released into an environment where it can be on fire. Red Adair was somebody I remember that name. I don't know why it sticks out with me, but he was a famous firefighter and specifically oil well firefighter in the 70s and 80s. And then people that worked with him have one of the more famous companies where they would like shoot RPGs into well holes to collapse them.
Oh shit!
Dude,
Yeah,
sick.
some
I want to have that
some badass shit. Like guys that do that, that's the real wild man shit. Like, oh yeah, what do you do for work? I put out oil well fires by shooting rockets at them. Like Jesus. That's some hardcore shit.
That's
Uh,
incredible.
So yeah, the dynamite scene where they roll them from the different angles and blow them up right next to the hole, so it sucks the oxygen out and then stops the fire was fascinating. And the concept of it starting on fire that and then shooting up that high really is a tell for you're probably sitting on a really big damn oil field. So
Mhm.
like the actual like science behind both of all those events works really really well. So I was a big fan of like that whole sequence. Like it was extremely well done, and
So
a great character moment for at the end where you're like, oh yeah, this dude is completely fucked. He gives no shits about
zero.
human life.
No,
Yeah.
nothing. No one else. So that was a real fire that they launched.
Okay.
And I guess the fire burnt so hot and like all smoky, they had to stop filming. Because No Country for Old Men was down the road. They had to halt filming that day.
Yeah, this was being
Wait,
that.
they were both filming at the same time?
yeah, they were both shooting in
Yeah.
near or around Marfa, Texas.
Yeah.
That's crazy because before seeing this movie, I always got those two confused. Because I'm like, because they sound so similar to me. Like, There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men. Like, they sound like they would be the same kinds of movies. The
Yeah.
fact that they were actually happening at like filming at the same time and whatever, that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Let me go back to my notes here. Did I have anything else? I did not. So, how far have we been going? Maybe 15 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, probably.
Obviously, this is going to be maybe a little shorter episode because the movie was so long and we started a little late, so we're not going to get super into it. And like I said in the pre-show, I have like devoted way too many hours this weekend to Valheim. I don't know why. It just I felt the itch of going back to 2021 or whatever that was when that came out, and I'm
Dude.
already like 17 hours into a new run since Thursday night. It's too much.
Dude, video games are good, man.
Yeah.
So
There's
my,
actually a really prominent video game voice actor in this movie. He was very off to the side, but he's actually in this movie. Jim Meskimen.
what character did he play?
He played a dude on the left side of the screen in that shot where it says 1911. He's just in that building. He's arguing, but he's in the movie. And for those of you who don't know, Jim Meskimen does a lot of voice acting. Like currently, he's like Ultron in Marvel Rivals right now. He was in all of the old Shadow of Mordor games. He's in Minecraft games, Lego games, bunch of Marvel stuff, bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff. But he was also in the movie The Paper with Randy Quaid. And I had to do some freaking digging
Holy
here.
shit,
Oh,
dude.
man.
But I found a one
God damn.
step connection to Kingpin, baby. Yes.
Yeah,
That
but just go
is-
that extra fucking
That is
mile.
impressive. I gotta
It-
say, I gotta give it to you. I'm over here looking up. Wait, where the hell was Paul F. Tompkins in this movie? And damn, you're dropping the connection to Kingpin. But yes,
Dude,
Paul
it
F.
was so
Tompkins was
hard.
in. He's one of the lawyers in the very opening scene. Not opening scene, but like after he's struck oil and he's like talking to his first townspeople with his son
Mhm.
beside him in the chair. Tompkins is off to the side. Like, I did not even clock him at all. Mostly because he has no facial hair in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pulled up an image here. I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be why I didn't notice him. Completely
Yep.
barefaced.
Yeah. Every time I think of this guy, I'm like, yeah, he's got facial hair of some
Especially
kind.
because
But
now all I see is his Game Changer episode. He was so good. Or maybe it was Make Some
he was
Noise.
in game.
Yeah,
was
he
in
did one
Game
of those,
Changer?
and he's been in a bunch of stuff with them. He's on it's the one where they do the PowerPoint presentations. He did a bunch of episodes of that.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and he was in, I think it was either Make Some Noise or Game Changer. And it was great. He had the prompt for being the Southern lawyer that defends Willy Wonka. It felt so fucking good.
Wait, who is this?
Paul F. Tompkins.
Why are you talking about Paul F. Tompkins?
That's what I've been talking about him for like 2 minutes.
I've been talking about Jim Meskimen.
I transitioned away from that.
Oh, Man, I was trying to find a tangent.
Well, yeah, we already hit the tangent. You already hit it.
Bro, what are we
I have no idea
what
we're
are we
doing.
doing right now?
What's it?
Let's
Yeah,
talk
let's
Star
go get some
Wars.
milkshakes.
The milkshake
And
line.
I
I was
drink
that is in my
one.
notes. So,
Mhm.
Paul Thomas Anderson says he took that line from testimony from that Teapot Dome scandal, where Albert Hall
Oh.
was talking about oil drainage and like how leasage rights works and stuff in congressional testimony. But scholars have been like, yeah, we can't find that. So where were you getting this from? But it's potentially from a 2003 testimony from like a New Mexico state legislature talking about a similar concept with oil right drainage, and that would have been around the time this movie was being developed because it took them a couple years to secure financing and get the writing, get everything correct and like get Daniel Day-Lewis on board, and it took a few years to get the project together. So they're wondering maybe if that seeped into his research and it just because we can't human memory kind of confabulates things sometimes, which is one of my all-time
100%.
favorite psychology words, confabulation. Fucking love that word. And we just kind of like make a connection even though there's like not there. You like
Nothing there.
see things that aren't there. It's like just sometimes how our memories like here's point A to point B, here's point C, but like our brains like no, but it's in the middle of point A and point B. Like it's not. They're not. There was no connection.
Almost
there.
like a Mandela effect.
Kind of. But that's more in Mandela effect on like
Right.
a group scale. Yeah.
It's like a social thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Things are weird. So yeah, that was my last note. The I drink your milkshake, which became very meme.
I drink
Oh,
your
100%.
milkshake.
So, Chris, what is your favorite scene from the movie?
I really liked the fire. It looked pretty.
Yeah, that in
was
4K would
fucking
look
crazy.
The fire
Oh,
looked really good. Like
looks
yeah.
so good.
that was definitely the best part of the movie because it was just a spectacle to look at.
That's the spectacle part is why I think you'd like one battle after another. It is definitely
Okay.
more like theater spectacle, while still
Gotcha.
being a more character-driven story like this. It's
Okay.
got more going on
Yeah. Yeah, I think
and
so.
humor.
The
This one
reason
doesn't have a lot of humor.
this one really doesn't have it. No. If you find something funny, it's not because it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like I think about I drink your milkshake and it just makes me think about my milkshake bringing all the boys to the
Yeah, it's
yard.
all the memes.
And-
100%. Yes.
Yeah, it's like
Same.
there's memes from this movie. I've abandoned my child.
I've
like-
abandoned my door. Oh,
But
so
yeah,
good.
like I think the reason why I didn't like this one or I didn't care for The Godfather is like when I'm watching movies, I'm essentially saying, okay, I'm putting myself in this world for 2 hours and I'm immersing myself in this world. And the moment I got into this world, I didn't want to be in this world. I had no
fair.
desire to be here because I we talked about it at the beginning. It's a whole thing about like capitalism and religious whatever, like it's talking about that. I deal with that crap enough in my own life. I don't need it in a film. I will gladly watch space aliens fighting Captain America over this. Like movies are an escape for me. So unless I'm in the mood, I don't want it to remind me immediately of real life.
That's fair. I mean, escapism, like
Yeah.
art as escapism, is a perfectly valid way to watch this or consume
Mhm.
art in general. Not
Mhm.
just specifically movies. So, for certainly your
I
own
would-
perspective.
Yeah, I will say, I guess we could go back to things that I like. I really liked that there weren't a lot of cuts. Things were just done in one take. There were long speeches or conversations between people. It felt like a Steven Spielberg film in that regard because Steven Spielberg used to be like, "All right, we're holding on this, and if somebody's walking, we're just going to move the camera. We're not going to cut to a different angle. We're just going to move the camera and follow the blocking around." Like, I really did enjoy that part of it. So I think the movie making overall fantastic. I just didn't care for the story at all.
Yeah, I will
Fair.
say Thomas Anderson as a director is very, very
Oh.
good.
Yeah, directorially, artistically. Like the costume design was incredible in this movie. Locations were freaking awesome. I think the acting was great still. It's just that I'm glad here's the thing. The Godfather, I could have gone the rest of my life without seeing that. I'm glad I watched this movie at least once, but I never have to watch it again.
Fair
Fair.
enough. So Joe, we'll
Mhm.
kick into scores here. Since this is your movie, we'll start with you. If you were to give this
Oh.
an out of 5, on the letterbox kind of scale, so 4, four and a
Mhm.
half, 5, or below, uh, where are you putting this thing? Is this a 5 for you? Is this a 4?
This is a 5. It was 100% my perfect movie. Yeah.
Okay. Chris, I'll kick back to you. A
One.
1.
Damn.
1 out of 5.
No, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 2 just because of how well the movie was made. I'm taking 3 off for how much I didn't care for the story and whatever. The
Fair.
2 is specifically for acting, directing, the artistic side of it, but the story, I guess, is just what's
This
not
is going on
getting
your
me.
letterbox profile as a 2.
Yeah, it
Okay.
would go on my 2.
Gotcha. Me, I'd give
Yeah.
it a 4. I think I gave One Battle After Another 4.5, and I liked one Battle After Another more than this. But I think this is
Okay.
an extremely well made movie. Just not a perfect movie. Like it's not a 5.
Mhm.
Like beyond like watching this guy descend into madness. I think they get close to making a point about capitalism and religion and like not being like it's not possible to reconcile those two things, but they don't actually get there.
Mhm.
And I think if that had been a little more on the nose, like maybe it's instead of the end we follow it comes back into focus with the missionary character, as like the
Yeah.
end perspective is his, not Daniel Day Lewis's. Maybe that would have hit home differently. Hard to say, obviously, butterfly affecting that, but this didn't quite hit home at the end for me. But it was a good
Yeah,
ride throughout.
I felt like there really wasn't a resolution in this film.
No.
Well, is a man like determined? Like he had, like he says earlier when he's talking to his fake brother. He's got a fight in him where he wants no one else to succeed. In that point in time, basically everyone around him has not succeeded. Like he's doing fine, but the preacher's not doing fine. Needs more money, needs help, and I just find the story interesting because like he starts with a grind kind of mentality, and he works himself where no one around him really likes him. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like
Well,
he
that's
works so
that's putting it
hard.
lightly.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Like I think everyone fears him, and even his own kid.
And his right
Like
hand
that whole
man's
thing.
like giving him the side eye of like,
Yeah. What the
what the
fuck?
fuck?
You're gonna treat
What
your
is
kid
wrong
like
with
that?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I always look at the scene where it's like the fire scene where his son first like loses his hearing and stuff like that. Dan Day Lewis is covered in black. You can't really see him in the shot, and then you see his right hand man. It's almost like the balance between good and evil right there, where like the right hand man is the good, who's more worried about his son, couldn't give that much about the oil rig, where Dan Day Lewis' character is worried about the oil. He sees a prospect of good amount of money being pumped out. He's more excited about that than being worried about his child.
Yeah, I like as we were watching it, I was like, this movie kind of just reminds me of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, like the first one, where it's like it definitely has a big message to talk about. It's really dark and there's nobody I'm rooting for.
Right.
And I kind of want somebody to root for in a movie. Even if I get betrayed at
Fair.
the
Yeah.
end that they're not somebody that I should have been rooting for, and it's like there's a whole twist thing. Like I'd rather be rooting for someone throughout than watching somebody that I absolutely despise get what they want, even if it ends up being bad for them in the end. I'm just like, that's not enjoyable.
I remember the first time I watched this, I was rooting for uh Daniel Plainview the whole time, but as like the movie got on, the more I hated him, basically. And then
Hmm.
to like see his mental go, I was like, that's fair. No one around him loves him. That's good. The man will die alone with his riches.
And then obviously the stock market's going to shit in 2 years anyway. So
Huh, yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, ain't gonna be so well for anybody. Though
No.
he'll be obviously rich enough to survive in that world, but still. So yeah, my score, like I said, I'd give it a 4. So, but the thing to root for, not to harp on it, it's another reason I think you'd like one battle after another. There's actually like
Okay.
likable characters you want to root for, and you want to see them win. You know, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
that to me is one of my favorites of the year. Not quite my favorite, but it's maybe top 5 of the year. Caught Stealing was also incredibly fun.
It was really
What is your favorite of the year?
Probably F1.
Yeah,
That movie just fucking kicked ass. Like
that was so good.
Superman right there. You pulling it up. It's those two as like those are my favorites for different reasons. Superman is like the best version of the Superman we've ever seen. F1
Oh, for
might
sure.
be. I mean, F1 is Top Gun for cars, where you're like, fuck yeah, like
Oh,
Top
right,
Gun,
right,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just Jesus, like fucking riveting, like just pulse pounding, in a
Like-
different way than any other kind of movie. Like it wants to
I
be a
paid-
ride, and it's a goddamn great ride.
Oh my god, it is a
Mm.
great ride. Like I paid for the whole seat in my theater, and I only used half of it. You know, just on the edge of it the
Yeah,
whole time. It's
basically.
such a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's a Caught Stealing, then maybe One Battle After Another, and then maybe Novocaine. Maybe that's up in the air where the fifth
yeah.
would be.
Ooh, okay.
yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
speaking of
good stuff.
movies, Chris, you added Superman. I see. Did you add anything else?
Yes. No, I
fair
I
enough.
had a birthday between, so I got
Oh, yeah?
this for the
Yeah.
birthday, and I watched it last night, and so good, still so good.
It's fantastic. It's on my Christmas list.
Oh
So
yeah.
if I don't get it for Christmas, I'm buying it myself. It's going in the collection. Speaking of the collection, I added 4 more that were recently on a pre-Prime Day sale. Like that, a couple of different people had. This one I did actually buy from Amazon. It's The Lost City, which is the 4K Blu-ray
shit.
DVD and the digital code version, so you get four versions. But because it has the DVD, it's in the bigger case, which sucks. It sucks for collecting. It's DVD as a standard. You have to have it be this big of a case. It's the standard for the format.
Oh, okay.
So I've got A Quiet Place. I think I did Hunt for Red October, The Untouchables, and now this in that format. So those are the ones I have in this disc. I got Trading Places. This is a favorite of mine from Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. And because it's Spooktober, I got a horror movie. I got Quiet Place Part 2 because we did A Quiet Place
Hey.
earlier.
Oh yeah.
And then a movie.
Was that 4K?
Yeah, these are all the 4Ks.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
Event Horizon,
Ooh.
which I have not seen
I don't
since
know
I
if
was
I've seen
like
that.
12. It's Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, and it's sci-fi horror, and it's
Yeah,
a really
really good.
really fun horror movie. Very fucked up visual stuff though, like
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
with Sam
Oh,
Neill and the whole thing at the end. It gets fucking wild. That one might be on my list. So, speaking of movies, we should talk about what we're gonna watch next. Because
Oh yeah.
this is a physical media show. We got to pick our next host. Whose collection are we using? Let's go to the Wheelspin
We
page.
still have a Discord. We still have Discord. 2 Discord ones up there.
Indeed, we still have Discords to vote.
Yeah.
So my Discord
Yeah.
server that we use, as a group, they're gonna get to vote on 2 movies, but we'll see what we get. So I've got a random. We each have a random.
Mhm.
I have a dealer's choice, and then it's our 2 Discord servers. So
Wow.
that's our six
Damn, it feels
episodes.
fast.
6 episodes left for this season
Yeah.
before we retweak again.
Mhm.
So let's spin the wheel. Let's see who we're gonna get. It's looking like it's gonna be one of those Discord choices. So, gentlemen, this is where,
Oh.
at a good time here, I will go ahead and we'll make a cut and come back. Go get a movie from your collection, or pick one
Oh.
if you don't have the physical on hand. Like Joey, you have your digital.
Yeah.
Pick a movie, and we'll be right back.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
And hey, we're back. We've finally picked what our next movie is going to be. It's been about 24 hours. We got a few votes in our Discord, at least a few enough to actually decide what it's going to be, and that means our next movie is going to be the OG Ghostbusters from 1984.
Yes.
Second was Paranorman. Black Phone didn't get any votes, But we're gonna do that one. We're
Boo!
gonna do that one anyway in Discord. It just won't have an associated podcast episode.
I demand a recount.
The sequel comes out on I think it's October 17th, which is actually the same weekend as that Keanu Reeves Angel movie. So like, we might have a double movie weekend.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Was that Good Fortunes? I think it is, or Good Fortune, or something like that.
I
Something like
don't
that.
remember the title of it, but
But
the
it
trailers I
looks
like,
fantastic. So, that is to come in our Discord server. So since Ghostbusters is our next film for our outro here to add on, when's the last time you guys watched Ghostbusters?
2-3 years ago, maybe.
year when it was on cable TV.
Okay.
I think I was watching at work.
Mine
it was on the background L at work.
Mine would be probably when Afterlife was coming out. I think I watched Ghostbusters 1, 2, and then Afterlife. That was basically 4 years ago for me. So I'm excited. Ghostbusters, as I said when we were picking our selections, is one of the best movies of all time. So I'm excited just to watch the movie, and it would probably be a short episode because we are all going to agree that the movie's amazing.
The thing is, we've watched this movie in our Discord before.
Oh yeah,
it's been a few years. I think it was probably when Afterlife was coming out. You're like, hey, we're watching Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Get in here and we can watch it together. And so we've done this before, but it's been a while, so I think this will be a very fun one to do with mics on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is the mics on.
I think we just hang out.
Everybody quote along with it. Let's have some fun. Yeah. Get a pizza, get some pop, maybe some alcoholic beverages, and let's have a good night. So for that's going to do it here for episode 5 of Box Office Shuffle. We'll see you in 2 weeks for Ghostbusters. See ya. Bye. I was going to say who you're going to call. But us, maybe? I don't know.
Whoop.
I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my child.
I've abandoned my boy.
And who you gonna call? Child Protective Services.
Child Protective
Services. That's a good wrap up. That'll actually be the outro.
Yeah.